Good evening, gentlemen and lady men. Hope everybody had a good International Pipe Smoking Day. I meant to make a video for that, but you guys know how it is when life happens. Life's happened to all of us a lot lately, and it's been happening to me. My video series I planned on starting this past week has had to be postponed. They're doing an enormous amount of construction out by the road 50 feet from my house. So there's just absolutely too much noise to be filming in the garage, and it's really the only spot in the house that's good for filming. So yeah, that's coming though, just as soon as they get done with that stuff. I apologize about the delay. But anyway, today on the review board we have the Baraccini Mare Blu. I've had this pipe for a good while now. Some of you may remember I did an unboxing video of it a while back. I've smoked it quite a bit. I don't smoke it very heavily for reasons that I'll be discussing in a moment. This is a Italian-made briar. You see it's got the blue finish on it. Let me go ahead and move the box. There are, should you be interested, the model numbers. I'll go ahead and get that out of the way. This is the Rhodesian bowl. I love Rhodesian bowl. It's my favorite bowl shape. Rhodesian. I don't like bulldogs. Some people don't seem to know that there is a difference, but there is a difference. A bulldog, kind of contrary to what you might think, actually is usually a little bit more elongated. You would think it would be more stubby, but the Rhodesian bowl is a little bit more squat looking than the bulldog, which is oftentimes a little bit more of a taller looking profile. Not necessarily taller vertically, but it looks like it has a longer profile. So it's not necessarily bigger in size, but this is the model number as you saw on the box. Let's flip it around. If you can see that carving, Mare Blu 673. Good standard size bowl, very light, surprisingly light. It looks heavier than it is, but it's got thick walls. The bowl itself, I have really nothing to complain about. It's good deep blue color, slightly brighter than it appears on camera, and it's beautiful. I really like it. The finish seems to be holding up good. It's not wearing off, which tells me this wood must be either soaked really good in stain or some sort of dye. I imagine it was stained. I don't have any information on the manufacturing process. Either way, it's not just a surface finish. You can see I've screwed up the other day and accidentally banged my lighter on it and scratched it, and there's no finish flaking off. This finish penetrated the briar pretty good. So you don't have to worry about the finish wearing off. The stem is acrylic. You see it's beautiful. Very, very good looking pipe. But I have some problems. And bear in mind, the problems I'm about to mention are two things: a matter of opinion and a matter of preference. So you can take it or leave it. I do not like this pipe overall for a couple of reasons. The bit is fine, the button's fine, the entire stem on the exterior is fine. However, herein lies my problem, and some of you probably already know where this is going. It has a condenser type stem on it. It does not have, that's not a 3mm stem. That is a condenser type stem. I don't like it. And the problem that I have is not so much that it is one of these, it's that the fact is it's not mentioned anywhere when you order the thing. I probably would not have ordered it if that had been mentioned, that it's one of those type of stems. Now, I have unfiltered pipes. I don't have a problem smoking non-filtered. I do on occasion, and this is one of the pipes I reach for. But my problem is with the design of this condenser. This shank, I don't like what it does, and here's why. When you're smoking, and I'm talking about dry tobacco, not moisture in the tobacco, but natural moisture from the air, from the humidity that's going to condense as everything heats up, builds up in here extremely quickly, and it bubbles and gurgles and occasionally even makes its way up the stem to your mouth, even if you're holding it down. I don't care for that at all. It just builds up way too much moisture. And then, even when you do, and if you don't know this, I mean most of you will, but if you're new to pipes, you don't know, you take your pick or what have you. You can even use a toothpick if you don't want to use the pick on your pipe tool, and you stir around the ashes to sort of soak up the excess moisture. Well, that trick does you very little for this. No matter how much of that you do and how much of the ash you leave in there, there's still pools and pools of moisture. I smoked this pipe just a while ago. You can still see the bottom of that looks fairly wet. That's after I've wiped it out with a paper towel. I should have showed you. I just don't like showing nasty pipes after I smoke them on the camera. I should have showed you the amount of moisture. You can literally sling, very gently tapping it like this, just pours out droplets of moisture that just condense up in here, and it's impossible to finish a bowl without that becoming a problem. It just gurgles and bubbles, and it makes for an irritating smoke, and that's just half of it. The other half of it is this thing is an absolute nightmare to clean. That hole looks bigger than it is on camera. Again, that's not a 3mm hole. I've actually whittled that hole out some, even to get my pipe cleaner through. Even my small Dill's pipe cleaners won't go through it. And then if they have any kind of lint on it, it gets trapped, and I wind up having to stick paper clips or wire through it to get it to clean out. This thing is just an absolute nightmare to clean. Now, I've just tried everything that I know. Maybe the joke's on me because I don't deal with this kind of pipe very much. But maybe I'm missing something. I am relatively new to this sort of stem. But for all my doing and all my digging, there's nothing I can see. So what I'm going to do, I'm thinking about it. I have the equipment and I have the know-how to do it. I'm thinking about going ahead and boring this out to 6mm and making this a 6mm. And if there's not quite enough diameter on the shank, I'll make it a 3mm, or I'll just make some custom filters. I make my own filters anyway most of the time. So I'm going to probably bore that out and make it just convert it to 6mm filter, which will then have to be trimmed. See, I have unfiltered pipes. Well, this is what I don't understand. I have a non-filtered pipe, several, that they still have regular tenons on them. They don't have any of this condenser type stuff. And you can actually trim your filters and make it work if you want to use that non-filtered pipe with a filter. This one, there's no way of doing that. Now, companies that are less renowned than Baraccini are moving away from this type of stem. I've been reading. They're just running away from it because I'm guessing because it's such a pain to clean. This is an absolute pain in the derriere to do anything with. You can just sling the moisture out all over the place. You cannot have more than one smoke in it without having to clean the crap out of it. It's aggravating. So with all these less celebrated companies moving away from this type of stem and gladly advertising it as such, I don't understand why such a respected company as Baraccini is still hanging on to this kind of stem. People are moving away from it in droves, that at least from what I can tell. So I don't understand why they're doing this. But it's a beautiful pipe. I love the look of it. And other than that aggravation, I love the thing. It's gorgeous. And I love Rhodesian bowls. But it's just, I can't hardly deal with that. I'm going to keep smoking it. And again, I haven't quite talked myself into it yet, but I think I'm going to modify this and make it into a size that'll fit one of my custom-made filters. But I just wanted to run that by you guys. I caught it on sale. I think they normally run for about $100. I think I paid $78 plus tax, title, and license. You guys know the drill. Uncle Sam's got to get his cut. But right around $100. Not an expensive pipe, but it's built very well, other than the stem. I don't like the stem. The bowl, this bowl will last. I mean, that could be an heirloom piece. The finish is durable. No problem with that. The stem, I forgot to mention this. I hope you guys are still around watching this long video. The stem is extremely tight. I'm deathly afraid that this stem, you hear all that crackling? I'm deathly afraid that this stem's going to twist. This is the tightest stem I've ever had. And I'm afraid I'm going to eventually, no matter how I do it, twist that stem and crack it and break it. But we'll cross that bridge and burn it when we come to it. But there it is, folks. The Baraccini Mare Blu 673. Yeah, love everything but smoking it. It's not quite all show and no go, but as close as you can get without being that. I'm just disappointed in the way it smokes. I love everything else. That's about it for this one, gentlemen, lady men. Good to see you again after a little while. I'm going to get more videos coming soon. Soon as they're done with that blasted road construction, I'm going to get on my garage guidance series. Thank you guys for coming out and checking out this video. Hope you have a good day. Thanks to the subscribers, those who have been commenting. Appreciate it. Keep it up. and enjoy your day. So, gentlemen and lady men, hope you have a good day. I do not have a catchphrase.